Hello everyone, this is Farooq Siddiqui again with a new video. In this video we will be joining computer to a domain. So before that, what we do is, this is a Windows 10 newly installed virtual machine that I have, that I will be joining to this domain controller, uh, this domain mfsid.local that we installed in the previous video. So in the Windows 10 computer, we will go into settings and uh, settings. Here we will go into accounts, and here access work or school, and we will do connect here. Okay, before connecting to the domain, it is best if we rename the computer to according to whatever our organization's naming convention is. So for that we will go into system and about and rename this PC. And I'm gonna leave it here, but if I change the name of the PC, it is better to restart the computer before moving to the next step of joining this to the domain. So I'm gonna leave this as is because I am just doing this in a test lab and I don't actually need to have this computer recognized. No, count. And in access work or school, we went into settings, settings home to accounts to access work or school, and then it is going to pop up this window. So we will have two options here. We can either join this computer to Azure AD, which is now Entra AD, or we can join this device to a local Active Directory domain. So I want to join this to local Active Directory domain, so I'm gonna do this. And here it is asking me to type the domain name, which it should not take. Yes, exactly. So when we are working in a domain environment, the IP address of your domain controller, like this one, should be in the DNS of the computer that you're joining to the domain. So if we look at the network settings here, and I don't know, network and sharing center. Did I click? Okay, so in this settings, you see my DNS server is my router. And if I look at the settings of my domain controller, which we have open here, sorry, things have went slow. Okay, so here we it doesn't show DNS server here because when we install Active Directory domain services, if I go into properties, we will see localhost IP 127.0.0.1 as DNS of this server. As you can see. So usually what we do is after installing domain controller, we change this DNS IP to the IP of the domain controller, and if we have multiple domain controllers, whatever the other domain controller's IP is, it's going to be here, and it will be the same on the other domain controller. The other domain controller will have its own IP and this domain controller's IP. We will discuss this in the next video. We'll create for adding an additional domain controller to existing domain. So we can see that this is the IP of this domain controller, and we want to make sure that we are using the same DNS, like the DNS of the client would be IP of the server. So we have option to just modify the DNS. I don't want to assign static IP here. So 100.187 and okay and okay. And if we are in an environment we are assigning manual IPs, we will just assign manual IP, which will be IP address of the domain controller or controllers if we have multiple. And if we are in a DHCP environment, it's best to modify the DHCP so it assigns IP address of the DNS through the DHCP. And we will also create another video to discuss how we can do that. So right now we have, if we look at the details, our DNS is now the IP address of this domain controller, and if we go back and to connect again, and we'll to join this device to a local Active Directory domain. And now if I do mfsid.local and do next, still not. Okay, let's troubleshoot. So it's the secret weapon of all the system administrators, terminal in Linux and command prompt or PowerShell in Windows. So we will try to see if we are able to reach the IP. Yes, we are. And then we will try to see if we are local. No, we cannot. So slash DNS ping, no, okay, ns lookup mfsid dot local 92.168.100.187. Okay, we got the IP address. Oh, so the problem might be because of IP